Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, your home of Nollywood reviews. My name is Nnamdi Atupulazi. The Nigerian movie industry is going places, and it's so beautiful to see, especially in the movie for today, which is Gangs of Lagos. Now, written by the phenomenal Jade Osiberu, I'll come back to this great woman later. This movie, Gangs of Lagos, was released on the 7th of April as Amazon Prime's first African original. Wow! Just wow! Now, in this movie, three children who grew up on the streets of Isaleku end up as tools in the hands of dirty politicians and crime lords. But there are so many things about this movie that make the movie stand out. As usual, we'll start with the good ones. So let's get down to it. Number one, this movie, like committed art, shows us the ugly side of Lagos, which is oftentimes overshadowed by glamour in movies with different themes. But this one shows Lagos in a different light and sort of makes a mockery of what we hold high, because in truth, they mean so little. Talking about education, for example. Listen to Tenny when she talks about her father, who has very little education and yet may become a governor soon. So, for her, in her words, education does not really mean much. Try to console Oba. Now, this, you say, is just a movie. Yeah, but hold on for a second. Does it not strike you that a lot of time, does it not strike you that very often there are so many politicians in Nigeria who have question marks about their academic certificates? Mhm. Yeah, and they end up being governors, presidents, and holding key positions. There you are. Number two, stand out acting by some characters in this movie. To start with, Olarotimi Fakunle and Toby Bakare both aced their roles as Kazim and Oba, the villain and the hero in the movie. I am particularly very happy, how quickly Toby has established himself in the movie industry. But I hope directors are not going to stereotype him by frequently giving him just this kind of role. It's going to limit him in the end. I also like the action of Kazim. I've mentioned that Fakunle, the perfect villain. I mean, I didn't know him before now, sorry, but he was like, he announced himself. Now, special mention to Chioma Chukwuka Akpotha, that's Mama Ifi, and Chike, who plays the role of Ifi or Panam, and his gruesome death provides the emotional climax of the movie. Number three, the fight scenes are absolutely the best I've seen in Nollywood in recent times. I mean, at some point, I was asking myself and the person watching the movie with me, are you sure this is Nigeria movie? Or so yeah, the fight scenes, fantastic, great, and that's the sort of improvement I have been looking forward to seeing in now, our home movies. More of this, I hope. But there are some areas I believe the movie should have done better. Number one is the intro. The intro is unnecessarily long. Is it important, the intro? Absolutely yes. But should it have been made shorter and still made sense? Absolutely correct as well. I mean, an impatient person will probably give up interest before the movie, starts to make sense. The intro should have been made shorter. That's my thinking. Number two, I have sung the praises of certain characters in this movie. In the same vein, I want to say that there are some areas that the acting could have been better. Okay, so for example, Gift, played by Adesua. Don't get me wrong, Adesua is good, but she doesn't boss the tomboy role really. I actually think she's not meant for crime thrillers, going by her performance in a few of such movies so far, King of Boys and this one and maybe another one. Maybe there's another role she's going to be better at, or maybe some other person might have done this better. Then number three, now I have praised also the fight scenes that were absolutely fantastic, but I also think that There's so much time, or too much time rather, dedicated to this, fight scenes, as though the, director is saying, "See, look at it, we are good, so keep watching us." The fight scenes should have been shorter, and also sometimes some of the scenes look a bit organized, a bit too organized. Fight scenes, Nigerians fight scenes on the streets, I don't think they're that organized. Number 4, and this is huge. When Bamidele, Tony Abraham, goes to see Oba, Oba hails her, "My governor," and she says, "In 9 months' time." And I started to think, a few months had elapsed from the time Bamidele first appeared as candidate of her party. And now she's still talking about 9 months. So we're looking at the possibility of over a year to the election, and yet Bamidele had become the candidate of her party. This is not the reality of our political system. You don't become a candidate in an election that is more than a year away. It doesn't happen. And then when she's addressing the press after the death of London, behind her are her posters as the candidate of her party, NMP. Not an aspirant, as the candidate of her party. Behind her posters. And going by the 9 months she mentions here, it means that then it was probably over a year to go. I'm not sure they made their inquiries well here. The homework wasn't done well here. And this is worrying because there was another movie I reviewed in the past where electoral matters were not truly considered before the movie was shot. Finally, I think the movie should have been made into a series. It's a nice movie, don't get me wrong, but it feels rushed. If the movie were a series, we would have seen better character development of Oba and his friends. We would have seen the character develop over time, and it would have made more sense. We would have known more about Oba's father, would have known more about several things in the movie. But as just a movie and not the series, most of the things here feel like they were rushed. I also think some characters do not age the way they should age. For example, Terrible looks the same when he appeared many years ago when Oba was still a kid, and years later when Oba grows and matures. Terrible is still the same, it doesn't change. Now finally, this is a great movie. The things I pointed out notwithstanding, I like the fact that we're growing in this aspect. I do hope we don't overflog this crime thriller thing, but I'm enjoying it now so far. And let's be frank, even in Hollywood, crime thrillers are still there. They've been there years back and they're still here. They will be there years to come. So this is a great watch. Rating this movie, I say 7.5 over 10. Yeah, 7.5 over 10. That's how I rate this movie. And I said I was going to say something about Jade Osiberu. Man, this woman is fire. Don't forget, I've reviewed Trade. She's the brain behind that movie as well. And that movie I rated 8 over 10. Should make you want to watch it. So guys, this is how far we can go on this. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button down the bottom of your screen so you can follow this channel, and make sure you click on the notification so you get notified each time I post a new video. In the meantime, like and share this one. Nnamdi Atupulazi is my name. See you next time.